Please give a massive Carlton Town welcome to our special guest today. 66 wickets for Nottinghamshire last season at 14 apiece. Luke Fletcher, everybody. Right.
Did you see the one with the ball dead? Yeah. I'm just taking two.
Let's have a little bit quiet then, guys. Luke's come here today. He's got his afternoon up for us. He's come down here to watch the game. He's going to have a little chat with us ahead of the new season. I couldn't really start this interview with asking you your thoughts. Obviously, we've had quite a lot of cricket fans here, Luke, and the death yesterday, I think, as Shane Warne shocked everybody. Did you come across Shane at any time in your career? Have you played against him, met him? What's your feelings?
Well, is this on? Yeah. I just complete shock yesterday. I was just flicking through Sky Sports News and it flashed up. So like everyone around the world, really, just complete shock. Yeah, I've come across him a couple of times. I was a younger lad, bowling at him in the nets actually, the 2005 Ashes. So I was doing some net bowling there, and he was there, up in McGraw and all them lads. So he seemed a nice player, but he was just a legend of the game, wasn't he? So it's such sad news.
Absolutely, and I think we were all a bit shocked yesterday, even people who weren't into the sort of cricket, as it were. You've had a decent career with Nottinghamshire. You've won a few trophies, Luke. I want to take you back to the 2017 year, which was probably a fantastic and a bad year for you for different reasons. The 2017's winners medal in the playoff in the Royal One Day Cup. I was actually there with my little boy. I saw Alex Hales score that wonderful innings, 187. Take me back to that game if you would, and your memories and the build-up, everything around that game.
Well, it was incredible.
And you nearly had a wicket with your first ball, didn't you, if I remember right?
I did, yeah. And the weird thing about that is I said, so bear in mind I'm playing with Broad, James Pattinson, Harry Gurney, all better bowlers than me, all played international cricket. And I remember saying to Reedy, I said, look, I've got a good feeling about Jason Moore, I've got a good record against him. So just one of them people I just seem to get out. So funny enough, he just said, yeah, right, win the toss bowl, you bowl the first over. And sure enough, first ball nicked him off. Then obviously the first slip dropped it, so that was disappointing. But yeah, it was an incredible day. I remember just waking up on the morning thinking, wow, I'm going to play a Lord's final. There's been a lot of people that helped me throughout my career, different coaches, setups, Patrick Wickham being ferried around by parents, all for occasions like this. So it was emotional at the same time, but just amazing to be involved, and obviously to go on to witness what Alex did, 180 odd not out, and win the game was brilliant. But it was quickly stamped out the week after when obviously was out for the whole season with the head injury.
I don't know if any of you can remember that, the Worcestershire Warwickshire fans in, but Luke had potentially one of the worst injuries in cricket, where he was hit by a full-blooded blast straight back from the batsman. God, I don't know if you're okay talking about it, but yeah, I'll put you on the spot. Just check us through it, Luke. So quiet to the back, please, guys.
Yeah, so it was a T20 game at Edgbaston, and I got called on to bowl the third over, and as you do, you prep yourself up and get ready, and you think about your plans, where you're going to bowl, all that sort of stuff, and I ran in to bowl the ball, let it go exactly where I wanted to. And as a bowler, obviously, once you bowl the ball, you follow through, so you can't really see much. And then the next thing, I just felt the ball just smack me on top of the head, and that was sort of it, really. And I think people thought I was dead. I took a knee for about 10 seconds or so, and then I was quickly ushered off the field, and that was it. And for the next 6 months, it was no driving, brain scans, all sorts of stuff. So it was. I was lucky, really.
You could have lost your life.
I was such a big melon, so I was alright, I got away with it.
Yeah, so you missed the rest of that season, but yeah, I think a lot of people, when they saw it, it was like they were actually giving warnings on TV when they showed it. They were actually giving warnings, it was one of them where turn away now if you...
It's on YouTube now, it's got loads of views, people love watching it. And they're all quite sad, really. And a lot of people say to me, like, do you think you'll ever play the game again? I'm thinking, no, I don't know what else to do. My last job was a chef at Hooters, so I could always go back to that. But no, it was, I recovered from it well. I got looked after well by all the doctors and physios and everything. And that was it, but it was such a dampener on what had happened the week before. I'd been won the final. And then, you get told that you're not going to play for 6 to 8 months. So it was, the highs and lows, really, of that year, which was unfortunate.
You've stepped in today for Mick Newell because this game was arranged for a couple of weeks ago, and your director of cricket, Mick Newell, was our guest, and obviously he couldn't make today, so you've kindly stepped in, which is really appreciated. But I understand over the years there's been a few run-ins with Mick Newell, with you and Alex Hales and one or two of the lads. Have you got a couple of stories you can tell us?
Oh, I've had some bollockings off him, yeah. We get on well now, but I've had some proper bollockings. Yeah, I mean, Samit Patel's out there as well, he's had a few bollockings and all. Probably a few more than me. I just always remember this one time, and it was a game against Scotland, and I think it started at 2 o'clock on a Sunday. What's up? And so the night before, we're young lads, we're 20 and 21. We thought, right, we go out the night before to a place called the Love Shack. We'll have a couple, we're not going to go too mad. And then we'll call it a night about midnight. Get up about 10, half 10, 11, bit of breakfast, then crack on. Anyway, I think we rolled in about 4 o'clock or something, give it a good go. Got in, played the game, and when you're that young, you can sort of crack on with it, aren't you? You're alright, you have a couple of paracetamols and a bacon cob and you're fine. So played the game, I bowled shocking, he didn't get any runs, but we won the game. So at the end of the night, had a shower, got my sort of stuff on, got all my kit, went to go out the dressing room. Sorry. So see you later, lads, see you tomorrow, Monday or Tuesday, whatever it was. And Mick said, no, I want to work with you in my office. And it's a bit like that, really. You sort of step up into his office. And Halesy was already in there, so I thought, oh shit, something's not going well here. So he says, what were you doing last night? And we sort of looked at each other and we said, oh, just went for a meal in Bridgefield and then called it a day, sort of called it a night. He went, no you didn't. So I thought, oh. Well no, probably about midnight then, I reckon we had a couple of beers then midnight. He went, no you fucking didn't. I went, oh. And then after you've been asked 3 times you think, he knows exactly what's going on here. So he said, what did you do? And we looked at each other again. Said, oh, we just a bit of a night out sort of thing, and that was it. He said, no you didn't. He said, one of the committee's lads saw you in the Love Shack till 4 AM. I thought. So anyway, he starts going to Halesy first, he starts giving him a roasting and that. And for some reason, I was like this at school as well, I just got the giggles. I just see Halesy's face just drop, and his bottom lip dropped, and he was obviously under the pump a bit. And I just got the giggle. And the harder I was laughing, the more Mick was barking. He was going, you are a disgrace, look at the state of you, you're overweight, you can turn on when you want, you're always pissed up, blah, blah, blah. And I'm just laughing, mate, I kept laughing, mate. I'm thinking, oh my God.
Was it really helping, was it?
No, it was so bad. Anyway, it come to a close and he said, get out, you're a disgrace, blah, blah, blah. And I'm driving home. It's about 11 o'clock at night now. And I pull over in Ice and Green, I think I better ring him back here and just say, look, listen, I'm sorry for laughing, I didn't mean it. Bit of man, I'm a young pro, I'm 20 years old, I'm laughing at the manager giving me a bollocking. So I ring him up, it's 11 o'clock, I said, listen Mick, I had this problem at the school, I used to get the giggles all the time. I'm really sorry. And he just said, don't fucking do it again, phone down. So I had about half an hour just sat at the Ice and Green thinking, oh my God, I'm dreading going in tomorrow morning. But now I've had loads of these occasions with Mick, but he's a good man, he's a really good man, and, he understands that young lads are going to make mistakes, but that was one of about 300 mistakes. I've done that.
I've done a few.
I've got 2 kids now, so I can't.
Are you getting better as you get older? I mean, what a season you had last year. I mentioned it when you came up, 66 wickets at 14.9. I mean, that's brilliant.
It surprised myself as well. I went through a bit of a period in the COVID year where I thought, I'm a bit sick of cricket now. I'm getting to an age where it's coming to an end, and I sort of had enough anyway. We were going through a bad run at Notts, and a lot of my mates had either gone on to play white ball cricket and sort of cleared off, or retired. Reeds, people like that, Michael Long. So it completely changed the dressing room. So last year was my last year of my contract, and I thought, you know what, I'm just going to enjoy it this year. I'm going to have a few beers with the lads after the game,
No change there then?
No, exactly. I thought, you know what, the reason I came into cricket was because I loved the social to it, really. So yeah, I think my mindset just changed last year, and I just took it for what it was. And then actually when you do that, you relax and you perform better. You know, because almost like you don't really care. You obviously do, but you know what I mean? You just take all the pressure off yourself, and I think that was something to do with what happened last year, really.
Possibly. I said Boatsy was texting me, I can remember, because I could follow the score at work, and Luke's took another 3, and an hour later Luke's took 2 more, and that was coming in every week. It was just incredible. So what's your situation now? You've got a testimonial next year.
Yeah.
Have you got a new contract as well?
Yeah, I signed another 3 years, so
brilliant.
Which was unexpected.
From thinking of finishing to...
Yeah, I mean, I was fine with it as well. I was fine with potentially moving on, but now, I mean, last year, the year I had and signed another 3 years testimonial,
brilliant.
It's sort of restarted my career again, weirdly. Like I said, I'm old now, but I seem to be improving along the way, yeah.
One more question for you from me, and then I'm going to throw it out into the floor. So at the end of the day, if you want to ask a question of Luke, he's got to go out there because his kids are mascots today in a few minutes, but I will take 2 or 3 questions from the floor. The batting, Luke, I saw you scored 92 against Hampshire in 2009. What's gone wrong with the batting? I've seen you score some good ones, but...
I think I've scored 2 runs since then. My batting's just so bad. I put a lot of time into my batting and don't seem to get a lot back.
It's like we get excited when you come in because we know you can hit the ball, but of late it's sort of...
You know what? I find batting really hard. And I suppose the hardest thing about being a bowler is the workloads in your body. You know, you're sore, you're aching all the time, but actually being a batter, you only get one chance, don't you? You know, you can get a good ball, a bad decision, and then your day is over. So I just struggle with that. I think it's really hard, and I've got a lot of respect for especially opening batters in this country.
And I'm hoping for a century off you this season, mate.
Oh, hopefully.
We've got any questions on the floor for Luke? Gary, you told me you got one.
Yeah. Decent footballer, weren't you, mate? Nearly made pro football.
What about pro? I struggled. Yeah, I was alright, yeah. I was a goalkeeper when I was younger. I had trials at Forest, Leeds and Notts County, and I chose Notts County because my mates went there, so it was a bit of a bad idea. But I lasted 3 months, and they said that I lacked agility, and it's something that I've struggled with ever since, really. So I couldn't get down. I was a good shot stopper, but I couldn't get down into the corners and that. But no, I love my football. And actually, with Freddie now, my young lad who's 6, he's a massive Forest fan, and we're actually, we're down the City Ground every home game, and it's sort of brought, reigniting my love for the game again. So it's great to be here as well. I'm locally. I'm only about half a mile down the road, so if I didn't have the kids, I'd give it a good nudge today, but I can't, unfortunately. So thanks for having me.
No problem. Have got any more questions? First time, yeah, fire away, sir.
Luke, you're the best bowler of a Yorker I've ever seen, especially at Notts. How come not many more bowlers bowl Yorkers in the game?
Because they don't practice it, really. I practice that ball a lot. I mean, whenever I'm under pressure in games, it's always a go-to ball that I use. Yeah, I mean, it's a scary ball to bowl, and I think some bowlers don't do it because if you miss, you get whacked out of the ground. So, but practice, that's the only thing. You got to practice that ball a lot, really, to get the confidence to do it when you're under pressure in a game.
Good answer. Any more questions from the back?
You went abroad this year, didn't you?
Yeah, T10 it was called.
T10?
Oh God, it was.
Go on, tell us about that.
It was like a cricketer's holiday. It was unbelievable. It was absolutely amazing. I mean, Samit who's at the back there, he's been the last 4 years. It's great. So basically, it's a 10 over competition. The max you can bowl is 12 balls. And obviously 10 overs, it's not half an hour, it's over in a flash, so it was brilliant. I think I played 4 games, and I didn't field the ball once, which was unbelievable. I just stood there in the field, I thought this was absolutely amazing. 12 balls, back to the hotel, a few beers, around the pool all day, just, yeah, brilliant. How long did we go back there?
Where was that? When was the T10?
Abu Dhabi it was.
Right, okay. Right, one more question, come on, somebody. Is John Gorman there? Has John got a question for him? I know he works with Luke at Notts. Is John still around? We'll take one more question from the floor. Any from the Halesowen lads? Any cricket fans in the building? Somebody fire one up, come on. Go on, there you go.
I hope so, yeah. I hope so. I mean, when Mrs. asked me, she's like, "Oh, do you think families should go?" Like, no, it's quite a strict trip, this teacher. It's quite full on, there's a lot of training, you have to do a lot of stuff. It's probably not the right place to bring a family, really. that's it, yeah.
Right, just to sign off, Luke, what can we look forward to this season from Notts? Have we signed anybody? What's just, you know, let the lads know what we're looking forward to this season?
Yeah, we've signed back James Pattinson, for the cricket fans here know how good he is. He's a brilliant cricketer, so we've got him. Stuart Broad is obviously not on England duty, so we might see a bit more of him. All our white ball stars are back, Samit, Halesey, people like that. So yeah, I mean, we're on paper we're a real good, strong side. So obviously it's not played on paper, but it'll be exciting to watch anyway.
Last question for you, I went to the cricket with Boatsy last year, and his mum got up and had a cigarette at the side of the ground. Is that allowed now?
Yeah, do what you want. Yeah.
That's one of the funniest things last season when your mum got up and just stood at the side having a cigarette. And can you do that? And he goes, yeah, the mum can.
Do what you want.
Brilliant, fantastic. Ladies and gentlemen, please put your hands together. Luke Fletcher. Thanks, Luke. Brilliant, mate. Thank you.